You're retro trekking with the Caramel Apples, an apple snack where the topic is really about apples. This week's deep dive is all about all of the many reasons to love the cooler season. I'm Kennedy Rizzo.
And I'm Cooper Lee.
We have a lot to share, so now that we have your rapt attention, let's do this cool topic on winter some actual justice. Meet us there, and we'll see you on the other side. Coop, our caramelicious deep dive topic this week will truly put a most caramelicious smile on all our faces.
Oh, yeah, you cannot overstate that fact. I'm sorry, Kennedy. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
No, we're punching into hyperdrive with this one.
Yes.
So, as per usual, we have a lot to share. But before we launch into our discussion this week, we just want to remind you to hit the subscribe button and visit us on YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Also, check out our official website, RetroTrekwithTheCaramelApples.com, to see all the latest and greatest updates going down in the Retro Orchard. Okay, our discussion is set to be most fun, but now that is in the peak of the cooler seasonal charm, speaking of the lovely aspects about winter, it's been a long time coming.
I guess. For sure, Cooper.
Don't sound like you're not happy about this. This is a good thing.
Okay, well, I think I'm not playing, so.
You're like, are you trying to convince me or you?
I don't know, both of us maybe. Hey, you need to come back over to the light side.
So yeah, that's the reality here. She is definitely more for summer, like full steam ahead for summer. I think you're a little bit okay with spring. I don't know if spring is ever anybody's real favorite. I mean, it's just kind of the one you're like, okay, it's just the next step, right?
Yeah.
But would you say fall is your second favorite to summer?
Oh, 100%, yes.
Okay. So yes, fall is my favorite and winter is my second favorite to fall. So I love the fact that it flows that way. So spring is just kind of hanging out. But...
Yeah, which I will put this plug in. Our parents, actually, both of them had mentioned that they do like spring. So that was kind of both of their shared favorite season together. And they got married in late spring, almost early summer.
Yeah. So maybe I'm picking up a little bit of, we're doing a little bit of protesting, going against the parents here.
Hey, I think we've been doing that our whole lives.
Oh, goodness. Don't tell our secrets.
That's right. So, I mean, we're glad you joined us today, Orchard Archivers. We're going a little off-road today to discuss the still trending cool, chill topic of how wonderful seasonal changes are, as Coop started out. But winter, we're in the middle of that right now. And man, it's had its boxing gloves on.
And we have to be completely transparent here. Like, I don't know if you're like me, Kennard, but when you hear winter and you're getting close to the end of the fall season, you start to think about all the beautiful things besides the snow that come along with winter. And you kind of expect it pretty soon, right? I would say by the time maybe even the end of November, the beginning of December, you expect some snow. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I think back when we were children, going to school, like, you look forward to some, we never used the snow days, but they were there.
Yeah, our school system acted like they didn't exist.
Yeah. It was like, you can look but don't touch. We don't touch those, right? So you would be hopeful because the snow would start falling back then. Like even into November, you would see snowflakes. It's not
Yeah.
like that anymore, unfortunately, where we live. We're not like up in the mountains and stuff like that. So we don't really get a lot of snow that maybe they get quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where we are, there was still a time period that you expected it, and it's rolling into January is when we got our real significant snow. So
That's true. I mean, and of course, Orchard Archivers, I'm sure, anywhere you're at in the contingent 50 U.S. states, like the massive storm that they've been predicting and calling for, in fact, there are back to back storms. That's actually the snowfall, the snow totals that they've been talking about. We got a little bit, didn't we?
we did. Not complaining about that at all. I
Yes,
mean,
we are.
it's beautiful
What you
out there.
talking? What you talking?
But it's the nice thing about this season because it really does help people find time to be with family and friends that maybe you can't otherwise really get that time away from work and school. So it is definitely an opportunity for friends and family members to come together, spend some quality time, slow down a little bit, because you can't really do a whole lot outside. I mean, yes, you can go out and build snowmen and go sledding and stuff like that, but it really does bring people inside, which, a few years ago, that was a bad thing. And it was like, stay away from everybody. You might have even had to stay away from people you lived with, right? Um, but it was just a different time. But in general, winter it's that time to really, just take a minute and think about what's going on in your life and how happy you are for it, and glad that you've got close family and friends around and stuff like that. So very
Yeah,
cool.
and when we were kids, like just real quick, our dad he collects stuff, so there was like these old lawnmowers that didn't have engines on them.
Yes.
And again, back then, when they said it was going to snow, we saw snow. We experienced pretty snow, and we like to make Coop and I and our little Bubby. We like to go out in our side yard in the backyard and take these broke down lawnmowers, push mowers, and we would, yeah, we're so rural. But we would push and make trails, and we had a good time together. Like we were
Yeah.
pushing through all these lines all over the yard. We would, try to make snowmen or forts and all that. Like our memories of winter. Like I'm not a fan of winter because of course, your fingers get all cold. You worry about frostbite.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but you try to bundle up and take care of things. Your scarf, your hat, you got the cute mittens and boots on. You're all bundled up, can hardly walk. But that was a lot of fun and everything. And Coop really does like winter, but our little brother and his wife, they love it. They'll take actual trips
Yeah.
with their friends
Yeah.
to some of these ski lodges and stuff like up in the northeastern part of the country. I don't think they've been out to Colorado or anything, but maybe he has. I can't remember.
I think he went before he got married, so it's
Oh,
been quite
okay.
a few years ago. But he did go. I think it was a guy's trip he went on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because he is an avid snowboarder, and
Yes, he
his
is.
wife is quite the trooper. She gives it a go. She likes doing it too, um, but I don't think she's wanting to jump off rails and things like that. She can at least stand up on it, and she's light years ahead of you and I, right?
Yeah, that's right. We don't want to be a busted bag of bones or anything at the end of our fun.
Oh my goodness, no, because that is not fun. But yeah, it's so cool because they really do embrace this time, and I think they will be going away here within the next few weeks. So that'll be really cool. Hopefully, we'll get some updates on where they went and how much fun they did have. So cool.
Yeah, nice souvenirs.
Well, we always welcome that, right?
Oh, 100%.
We got to be nice to the siblings.
That's right.
So, here we are. As we've disclosed, we are at the beginning of this year. And so that means we've already passed the winter solstice, which I kind of touched on a little bit, but that was back December 21st, and it
Mhm.
was a Saturday. That was the shortest day of the year. And again, there was no snow that day, at least not in our neck of the woods. So, come on, where is the snow? But it's finally arrived, so happy about that. But it is interesting that when we have the shortest day of the year here, in the winter, I'm sorry, in the southern hemisphere, it's the summer solstice there.
Mm-hmm.
And a neat fun fact, they also have a southern northern lights type thing. It's a southern borealis of something that they have down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Yes, that was just a little fun fact there. But
Wonderful.
yeah, so we're here. We're talking about winter. So let's talk about some of the things that we enjoy. I remember in particular, this was back to the Girl Squad.
Ah.
So, whenever we talk about these friends of ours, our sisters from back in the day, we were staying in this pretty broke down short camper, like RV type thing. It was all of us girls, and it had a van front to it, so it had like a little top shelf that was over the front of the van or whatever that you could
Right.
actually, I don't know if it was a storage thing, but anyway, myself and one of the other close friends was up there. We decided to sleep up in there, and there was what, six, or was there six of you down in the main part of the cabin, or
I
in
think
the main
so.
part of the camper?
Yeah.
Okay, we had this thing full of blankets. We were layered up in clothes. We tried to prepare for this, right? And it had a generator. So we thought we were good. Well, not so much anymore when the generator goes out. And
Which it did.
it did.
Oh my God.
So we were not going to be deterred, right? We were camping. So we had our little snacks and stuff, and we stayed out. It went out in the middle of the night. So what are you going to do? We were sleeping. So we wake up. Our snacks are frozen. In particular, do you remember what it was that was frozen solid?
Oh, one of the snacks or the whole group of us.
Well, there you go. Yeah, the whole group of us. But what was one of the snacks?
It was the milk duds.
These things were literally chipping away. Pieces of caramel, pieces of chocolate. They were a solid block. I mean, when you're young like that, like we were preteens, teens, like we were good with it, but we froze our butts off in there. But it was so much fun, right? So, again, another avid, fun thought in the colder season.
Yeah.
Love it.
And we're like, we were sleeping in here? And they're probably like, man, them caramel apples are from the sticks. Like, what year was that RV or camper, by the way? Ooh. No.
Yeah, it was already dated. I would guarantee it was from the 70s, if not like 80. It was ancient.
Right.
But it was so much fun. But is there anything that like really stands out to you that you're like, man, that's a winter memory I want to capture and keep with me?
Yeah, it is a little harder for me because, I just, we always talk about how we connect with different things. And I mean, outside of you, Cooper, I think I've only heard 3 or 4 other people like, oh, yes, winter's my time. Winter's my season.
Yes, yes.
And when I hear that, and when you say that, I'm reaching in my brain like, I don't understand outside of some of the superficial things that you can collect and enjoy during winter.
Totally get that. Totally get that.
But that's what it takes for me. But we always talk about, we liked our sister days, we had a little bit more time to do, chill time.
Yeah.
But love, like with the snow outside, it's cold, you got your favorite blanket, you have your hot beverage of choice, like hot chocolate or coffee, tea, and you were watching an old classic film.
Yes. Yeah. Which one of our favorites, and it's the old school one. I mean, the newer ones, they're okay. But the old school one, Little Women, oh my goodness, that is just,
That's the best.
it is. Like, and for the amount of snow that we got and to watch that movie, you're
Yeah.
set up to just be in your own little world in that zone, and you're just in a good place. It's nice. You got to
Yeah.
find those good places anymore. So, yeah, so, you know, Kennedy and myself, we really did find opportunities, especially before pandemic happened. We'd make sure we'd have a sister day or whatever, and where the hubbies, they'd have to go and kind of entertain themselves for a little bit, just so that we could, maybe chill out and watch our favorite winter scene or something like that. But since pandemic kind of turned things a little bit, so it's because that's still around. You got to be kind of careful. So
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Oh, I was just gonna say, like we were talking about different memories with our girl squad. But we actually have a lot of warm memories with our family. And, we're going to have an apple snack about this. But, like our family just actually had a wonderful trip in the dead of winter to New York, upstate New York, and New York City.
yeah,
And our Airbnb that we had was just perfect. It was all isolated back a long lane. Nobody bothered us. Like it was very like there was a fireplace there. You a nice kitchen where you can make a big old pot of soup and some fresh bread and
yeah,
and just having that family feel. We hadn't done that in a long time. We've just had life gets in the way. Life has been there, but we were there for just about a week, maybe a little over, and it was the bee's knees because it snowed. What snowed when we went up there. Like this was winter. Like this trip was a winter trip.
yeah, yeah.
And one of them days we woke up to it and everything was all soft and blanketed with white powder. It was just everywhere. It felt like Little Women. It felt like all those cool old classic movies that you'd want to just chill in front of the fireplace watching.
That's right. That's right. And our mama, she turned us on to those. She loved that. I mean, we definitely get our love of old things like that because we didn't really appreciate them when we were younger, but we have acquired that taste. We got that from our mama, so yeah, we'll take that all day. And like you said, our vacation was it was top tier, right? It was so much
It
fun.
was.
And it's interesting that you mentioned Airbnb, so stay tuned for that.
Uh-oh.
Coming up. Yeah, we'll touch on that later. But besides being able to travel with family and friends, some people, they have family and friends come and see them. But I love the fact that if you want to have a little bit of downtime, because you do get a little bit more during the season, you can curl up with a good book. You can sit by the fire if you have a fireplace, like you said, or even if you're renting a place. Those are moments that you can't necessarily do everywhere you live. Like if
Yeah.
you have an apartment, you probably don't have a fireplace that you can get close to, you know. So relish in those moments. Take advantage of that kind of thing. The meals, as you said, people they provide spreads. They make spreads during this time. So it's just I don't know. It's just so awesome. It's just so awesome. Heated blankets.
Yeah, fuzzy sweaters, earmuffs, gloves or mittens, and your favorite cozy warm boots.
Yeah. And here's another one that is so underrated and cannot be overstated. There are no bugs outside. Like, how do you not appreciate winter for that, right? I mean, they might start coming into your house and, you said you get rid of them because there's not a whole lot. But, like, when you're outside in the summertime, they're everywhere.
Yeah, it can be a bit miserable at times.
It
My
can
goodness.
be.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
So,
even though, for us as children, we didn't get to enjoy every single snowy, dreary day because
that's
we have to
right.
go to school. But, it seems like the kiddos now, they do seem to, like, they're not so paranoid of using these snow days. Like, I remember when we were younger, they were afraid to touch the snow days because they were like, well, you're going to have to go a long time into the summer if we go
Hmm.
over the 5 days I think you get.
Boy, they wield that threat like a like a very masterful.
They literally did, and we dealt with snow and ice going to school. It wasn't like, like we said, it arrived early and it'd stay a long time, and we were
Yeah.
going to school in that. So very random that we use it, but now they're not so tippy toe with it. Like they seem like they get longer breaks anyway, and if they feel they need it, they'll use them. They're not shy about it. So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure parents appreciate that for their children because they're like, it wasn't like that for us. So at least we know you're safe.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I am so glad that we were here for this. Oh, one more thing. Ice skating.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember going when we were younger. We would go ice skating. We loved roller skating. We would do ice skating too from time to time. That was so much fun. And it was usually indoor arenas, so it didn't necessarily have to be snowing outside, but we usually went in the winter because that's when you think about it.
Hmm.
But I don't. Would you try ice skating now? Would you go around now?
With all of my nuanced health issues, it sounds fun. It does. I don't know. I would want the whole place empty, so when I was falling and smashing my face in the, I could hold my head up high with a little dignity. But
Oh, but that is such a wintertime thought, isn't it? Like, I
it
mean,
really is.
because
Yeah.
it's totally portrayed in movies, and we know
Yeah.
there's places where like it's heavy duty. And I not too long ago I saw on TV where how they have walkers for people who have balance issues and things like that. They have walkers. They were using something like that on the ice for people who were not good at skating.
I've seen that. I've seen that with roller skates.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
Yeah.
See, they're like, where there's a will, there's a way. We're trying to help people.
Man, we were deprived back then, boy. It was like, let's throw you out there and this is do or die.
Exactly. But we still gave it a go. We still
Yeah,
tried.
we're better for it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man, thank you, Kennedy, for wanting to go down this beautiful winter covered scene. Because it is special to me. I love it, and I know you're trying to find the appreciation in all parts of life. So, finding the good side of winter was awesome.
Yeah, frosty winter lane, and I'm telling you, like it did take growing up and maturing and seeing things and being living in the present to take in the beauty and the creation all around you, involving that. So like I didn't really appreciate that growing up. I always wanted to be warm. I wanted to go swimming and all that stuff. But it's like, no, I see the beauty in it now.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really want to get stuck out in it because I don't have to, but
yeah,
I do.
and
I do appreciate it. It's very, very beautiful.
and I'll tell you, I think if you have that inner photographer in you, you get a
Hmm.
nice ice storm and some trees, it looks like diamonds.
Yeah,
I have taken some stunning pictures, and I am a novice beyond, right? So
I bet you are.
I give all the credit to the phone, but it's like I have gotten some gorgeous, gorgeous pictures, and you can't get that if it's not winter. It's ice, right? So
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful
it's
scenes.
its own level of beauty.
It is, it is. And that's it for this week's Apple Snack. To make sure that you never miss out on another second of our Caramelicious podcast, meet up with us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Bye for now, and thanks so much for listening.